Hey guys, hey, great job. Everybody knows the schedule. First division win, outstanding. You talk about complimentary football, way to go. Okay, way to go. We definitely have some things to clean up. We'll hit that Wednesday. Okay, break us down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jonesing for Wins. I'm your host, Craig Havens, and with me, as always, is Jonathan Almanzar. We are two long-time Cowboys fans who love to talk football and especially talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Today, we're going to discuss the Cowboys' win on a road trip to the NFL Football Giants. We will also discuss the game, the good, the bad, and then we'll award our Glory Hole Award to the person who sucked the most in this game. After all that, we'll get into the upcoming game at home against the Commanders. Right now, Jonathan, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think?
I'm all in, man. I am all in. I'm in South Florida wearing a sweatshirt. That's how all in I am. I mean, Super Bowl for sure. This is my favorite team. This is my favorite Cowboys team we've ever had. There's some people on it that I hate, but this is my favorite team.
You are so lying to me.
No, I'm dead serious. Like I think us being 2-1. I thought we would be 2-1 at this point with Dak. We're 2-1 with Cooper Rush. Like the sky's the limit. We're missing a wide receiver. We're missing offensive linemen. We're missing all kinds of players all over the field. I'm in.
I feel like I don't even know who you are.
I'm in.
I don't buy it. Wait, this is better than last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think our chances are much greater this year than last year. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm excited. Cowboys, Giants. You said about your favorite team ever in the Cowboys that it was going to be 9-3. There would be one touchdown, a missed extra point, and a field goal.
Were you worried about that a little bit when it was 3-3? Were you thinking, Jonathan could get this right? And I really thought it was going to end up 9-3, but I thought it was going to be 3 field goals.
I was actually thinking we were going 3 field goals. I said 31-17. I got the 17 right. So,
yeah, you did.
But and quite honestly, well, we'll get to this in a little bit. But had we not dropped one beautiful catch, I would have been damn close.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all right. So there was that. I think it was a good game. I like the play calling on offense. I like the defense. I like the special teams. I'm happy with this game. Do
you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think the little boy is doing a better job calling games with Cooper Rush than he did with Dak?
You know what? Yeah, maybe it's easier because he's got to wiggle a little bit. Maybe,
yeah.
And I'm gonna get to that stuff too. And actually, I'm coming up on that too. Let's start by Cooper Rush because again, you're gonna start hearing Cooper Rush. He's undefeated. He's 3-0. It's gonna happen. Again, he did his job. He was 21 of 31, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, rushing -2, whatever. He did his job. Let's go back. Let's take a look if Dak were in the game. And I did my homework. Last time Dak had 31 or less attempts was January 8th this year against the Eagles. He went 21 for 27. He had 295 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The score was 51-26. Not saying that that's what I'm expecting of Cooper, but that is the last time that Dak had less than 31. Before that, it was against Atlanta on November 14th of 21. He was 24 for 31, 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The score was 43-3. Both those games, the Cowboys had the opportunity to stop throwing. So we can see we're managing the game with him, and that's good. I like that. I'm happy with that. I'm not arguing that. But I don't think that Cooper Rush is going to take over Dak Prescott. It's not.
No.
He's not that guy. They are. I think these wins are more, and I'm going to give it to coaching. I think the coaching is playing Cooper's game. They'll tell you they're not changing much. That's a lie. That's a big lie. They're changing.
Yeah.
And it's working, and I'm happy for them because this is what we wanted to see, and it happened. We've both knocked Cooper Rush. The guy got cut. Nobody picked him up. We re-signed him to the practice squad and re-signed him up to the team.
Yeah. I think Cooper Rush is Lamar Jackson without the running ability. That's who Cooper Rush is. He throws like Lamar Jackson. He makes decisions like Lamar Jackson, passing game, but he has no running ability. And I mean, I'm glad we're winning. I'm shocked, which makes me very. That's why I'm high on this team, because if we're winning with Cooper Rush as our quarterback, I think we're in a good place. But I'm with you. I don't think there's really a controversy. I think Jerry Jones likes to stir the pot. I mean, you told me one time, what's the way to make the Cowboys most valuable? To have controversy. Remember
Yep,
when you
yep.
talk about it all the time
Yeah,
that
that's
Jerry Jones had that.
that brings
Yeah.
the value of the team. Yes. So, all right. Talk about rushing. Oh wait, while we're on Cooper Rush, Cooper Rush, I think he did better than Daniel Jones to a point. I don't think he was a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones brought more to his team than Cooper Rush, I should say. I mean, he similar stats. Daniel Jones, I had it here someplace. Similar stats. I mean, I think he was off by like 10 yards, but he also added like 79 yards in rushing. And
Yeah.
most of that is because our defense really did flush him out of the pocket. But goes back to rushing, which we'll get to because I think we both agree this team's got to learn how to stop a rush. Or
Oh man.
okay.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Can we talk about that right now?
Yeah, Saquon had 14 carries, 81 yards. He averaged 5.8 yards per carry. Daniel Jones, a quarterback who is not
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson or Mike down in Atlanta forever. Mike
Michael Vick, Marcus
Vick. Yep.
Mariota,
He had
Justin
9
Herbert.
carries. He had 9 carries for 79 yards, 8.8 yards per carry. How? Like I mean, we're not tackling in the middle, and then most of them are going in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We missed a
Yeah, it's
tackle on
right.
Saquon on that touchdown. We missed a huge tackle on that.
Do you think it is the defensive tackles, or do you think it's the middle linebacker? Where do you put more of the fault?
So in this game, I think our middle linebacker should have been more of a spy on, but that's not. He doesn't make himself a spy. He should have been a spy on Daniel Jones. On any time we have a quarterback that can run, and Daniel Jones can run. I'm not taking
Yeah.
that away from him. So we should have had a spy on him. It should have been at least a halftime adjustment. Put somebody on him. Which let's give it to 55. What? Why can't I? Two last
The
names.
Wolf?
Yes,
The Wolf.
Wolf. Yes,
Leighton Vander Esch.
thank you. Let's give it to him. He can be the spy. But
What about Wilson? Wilson's fast, man.
Wilson's fast, but man, he can tackle and then he can just be lost. I like he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but it just
Yeah.
happens all through the game. So I like Wilson, but yeah. I guess you could say the same about Diggs. You know, sometimes Diggs is yeah, go ahead.
What happened to that linebacker that we drafted with Micah Parsons that people were saying he's going to be better than Michael Parsons? We drafted him in the third round. We took Micah Parsons 11th overall or whatever. We drafted this guy in the third round. Maybe Dexter Carter or some I can't remember his name, but there was all of this talk about him. I think he came out of Clemson or LSU, one of those SEC schools, and people just kept talking about him and talking about him. And then, especially if you listen to like the Dallas Cowboy radio people, they thought he was going to be amazing. And I know he was hurt for a lot last year, but I haven't seen him at all.
What the heck?
You know who I'm talking about?
I think I do. I remember it. Ah, man, I don't remember though. It wasn't Joseph, was it?
No, that's that defensive back that we got that I think is stupid. Who got into legal trouble too? Joseph, right? Jabril Cox.
Yes. All right, I had the J.
Everybody thought he was going to be amazing, and where is he? Like, is he even playing?
I don't have my. I can look. Well, I'll look it up for a later time. Well, you don't have to remind me. I'll look this up later. I don't know where he is. I don't know what happened. I know that right now we need to focus on stopping the run.
Yeah.
It's a huge hole, and I get it. We've got really good pass rushers, and when you have that, you're going to have some leak in the middle. But it just seems to be going so bad.
But why, when you have that, are you going to have some leak in the middle?
Well, I think I hate you for these. So
No,
I think some of it. I mean, we got to put our money in places, right? We've got a
Right.
lot of money tied up on the one side, and we're going to put it up on Lawrence, who, by the way, had a great game.
He had a good game.
He had 3 sacks.
He had a good game. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
But go ahead.
I've not liked him. You cannot give anyone credit, man. You go down on someone and you're done with them.
I'm done with him. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So 3 sacks. We've got Micah Parsons, who we're going to have to put money in, but we've got money on the offensive end too, with Zeke, with Dak. How are we going to put money in the middle?
I don't know that. I think if we had drafted good draft picks, we wouldn't be putting money in the middle. We draft guys that have a poor work ethic, but they're very talented.
But we put in their contract that they have to study.
Yeah, and so I think if instead of getting guys that have poor work ethic, we could get guys that have good work ethic, tryhards. That's who you want in the middle. You want tryhards. You want your middle linebacker to be a tryhard. You want your defensive tackle to be a tryhard. They don't have to be athletic. Why does your defensive tackle have to be athletic?
He needs to be able to hit someone. That's it.
Well, I mean,
I'm agreeing with you. Smart might be a better attribute than athletic.
Fat, unmovable.
Doesn't even have to be fat. It's just strong. So
I want somebody who isn't fast on the cones because he can't move because he's so freaking huge. That's who I want.
Can't move him.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got that. Our end of rushing, however, was really
much better. Yeah.
Solid. Pollard. All right. Pollard. I'm going to read you the numbers. Pollard, 13 carries, 105 yards. 8.1 average. Slightly less than their quarterback. Zeke, 15 carries, 73 yards. 4.9 average. 1 touchdown. We kind of touched on this last night. We've touched on it before in the past. Who's our better running back?
Tony Pollard. Hands down.
I agree. And a whole lot less on the cap.
It just looks different when he takes the ball. When he has the ball running, he looks fat. Like I was watching with my son, and he's like, "Wow, Zeke is fast," and I was like, "That wasn't Zeke, though."
Right.
Like, but that's
he looks like old Zeke.
Yeah, he's fast. He's quick. He's decisive. How about what happened on that play when Zeke went up and he was trying to get Cooper Rush's attention, and he was like tapping him on the shoulder?
You know what happened? Cooper Rush changed the play, but didn't tell him. Cooper Rush went to the line, changed the play. I think he changed it twice even, but never turned to his backs to tell him this is the play. That's not Zeke. That's Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush didn't communicate to the back. So.
But
was it Zeke or was that was Zeke? Yes.
It was Zeke. He looked like the little boy who comes up to his dad and he's like,
Daddy.
And he's tapping him on the shoulder, trying to get his attention. The dad's like, not now. I've got important business over here. Hold on.
And then he kept talking, and it was a handoff to Zeke. So Zeke needs to know. But it even looked like when Zeke started that there was some confusion. Like he put his arms up, but he didn't really know. Am I getting it? Am I not? So he kind of step there, but I mean, it worked. Was that the one we touchdown on? No. Okay. So, all right. So rushing, I think we both agree. Pollard's still a better deal overall, but probably the better running back.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right.
I love this returner too.
Oh yeah, Turbin.
Oh, I love him. Yeah. How long has it been since the Cowboys have had a returner that even catches the ball and then runs? I feel like for the last 8 years, every time it's a punt, we just fair catch it. And he's like, no, I'm running this thing.
Yeah, and he does good with it. And and you know what he's also done? Held on to the ball.
Yes, he has.
Nah, actually, you know what? I don't know. How many turnovers have the Cowboys had this year? I don't believe in jinxes, so I'm not thinking I'm jinxing this, but there haven't been many.
Yeah,
which
not
is
very many.
Really odd for us. Usually by now, we've had some really dumb turnovers.
I mean, Dalton Schultz has fumbled the ball.
Right. That was last week.
Dak threw an interception. So I think that's going to be it too.
Huh.
Yeah. How many takeaways do we have though?
We have not many actually. Diggs had his first interception.
I feel like we had another interception maybe.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm saying Diggs had his first. I don't.
Yeah.
All right. So, but on the defense, I think we really did look good. We had 5 total sacks, an interception. I think Diggs looked good. I think Lawrence looked good. Micah
Mm-hmm.
Parsons is injured or sick, or what is the
He
situation?
was sick. Yeah, he got tested for COVID, but it came back negative, and he wasn't sure he was going to play, but he ended up playing. And then he posted a picture of Michael Jordan's flu game with the. Remember when he scored
Yep.
55 points?
Yep.
And he didn't quite have Michael Jordan's flu game.
No, not quite. But
He might have had Michael Jordan's flu, but he didn't have his flu game.
did you see? Did you see him trying to get out, and the coach kept grabbing him and pulling back? He'd start walking out on the field, and the coach kept grabbing him and pulling back. I like his attitude, and he did have some pressures. He had some. He made his presence known, just not.
He wasn't himself.
Right.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think if we could stop a run. So let's go back to that. You asked me if it was tackles or if it was linebackers. What are your thoughts? Where are you?
Tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle. I mean, they just go through the middle of the line so quick. I think it's probably both. I think it could be.
Definitely is.
But I would say if we could shore up our defensive tackles first.
When was the last time we had a good tackle that you can think of? Give me the name of the last good tackle.
The big cat. What was his name? Leon Lett.
Yep.
Was that our last good tackle?
No, I don't know if that was the last good one.
Jim Jeffcoat?
He was defensive end, by the way. Randy White? No.
Russell Maryland?
Let's pass on that. It's been a long time either way. I can't think of one. I mean, I'm sure we've had one since, but there's that stuff. Penalties, 8 of them for 70 yards.
But killer ones. And how many did they decline? That's there was even more.
There was, because there was definitely the one where it doesn't matter. 8 penalties is better than it's been.
Don't know.
It's better than it's been. I'm not saying it's good. That's not what I hate. No, don't put words in my mouth that weren't there. I'm saying it's better than it has been this year. I'm not saying we're in good shape. Giants had 8 penalties, 57 yards.
Now, I think, though, honestly.
Go ahead. I was going to say they missed. Who's going ahead?
You are.
All right. There was a couple missed defensive holding calls on the Giants that could have easily been called that you stare at. And I'm sure there was some going on.
You mean the one where they tackled Noah Brown?
I mean,
are you talking about that one?
Or the hug, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I do think for the first time in a long time the Cowboys got bailed out on a penalty. I think when they called offensive pass interference on the Giants, that was a big turning point in the game. That was a big moment. Wiped out a big catch, and I'm thankful for it. But I think that was a bad call on their part. But like you said, they missed things on the Cowboys. But I mean, when you have the Cowboys have so many penalties, I feel like they could call penalties on the Cowboys on almost every play. I felt like our offensive that one white lineman that they got out and then put in the Jason Peters. I was so glad they got that guy out of the game. I felt like he was tackling people. That's all he did. He just tackled them or jumped off sides.
Jason Peters.
Who did I say?
Love having him. No, you said Jason Peters. Loved having him. His first play in the game was what's his name's run? Run. Yeah. Cleared out, nice area. I mean, he wasn't the only one. Actually, who's the guy? Oh, Knight, not Knight. I keep calling him Knight. Steele, yes. Steele. Yeah. He has played solid since that first game. I think he might be one of our 8 listeners. Yeah. He was like, oh, crap, they were going to put me in the glory hole.
They were going to waterboard me.
He's come along. I'm very happy with him. So there's been some good moves there.
Yeah, I think that. So are we talking about the offense?
Yeah, sure. We can talk about.
I think the offensive line played much better, except for that one Ionesco or whatever his name is, the white guy they pulled out. I know you hate Tyron Smith or whatever his name is.
I don't hate
Tyler Smith, but I thought he had two penalties. I thought he did okay.
He had 2 penalties this week, and that did bother me. He's played well other than those 2 penalties.
Yeah, I think the offensive line played much better. This was their best performance to date.
It was, I actually think they're shoring up and becoming, and I think that Jason's going to help with that.
Oh, me too. Me too. I think that's a big win for us.
Yeah. So I want to do one other thing here, which we haven't done before. I don't know if we're going to do it again, but I looked at a couple things and I was like, you know what are the best teams right now in the NFL? I figured we'd give like a top 3 power rankings. I think mine will be similar to yours.
Okay.
I have mine. You haven't had a chance. I'm springing this on you now.
I got it.
So I figured you would. And so I think we'll be very similar. I don't think we'll be the same. I know that our number 1 position is going to be the same, which is a totally underrated team in my opinion. I don't think our number... Yeah, all right. Let's go with you first.
Go, you go first.
All right.
Go first.
Number 3 overall. I hate doing it, but I do believe it's the Eagles. Only because they've played solid. I discredit them all the time. I think that the Cowboys will. I think the Cowboys can, and I think they will beat them in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. That said, right now they're playing solid football. So I'm going to give them number 3 right now.
Okay.
Kansas City, I'm putting in number 2 spot. I think
okay.
I don't
even
think
with their loss.
Even with their loss. What was the last undefeated team? So I'm going with, well, who else is undefeated other than my number 1 spot, Miami Dolphins, who I think totally underrated, which I wish the Cowboys would be, because every time people start talking about positive about the Cowboys, they seem to get this in their head and fall apart. Miami Dolphins, you'll probably know this. This came from my son, who's a Dolphins fan, but last 11 regular season games. You know what the record is?
11-0.
Close. 10-1.
10-1. Wow.
How do you not recognize that and put them in the power rankings? They're still below Buffalo.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
And Buffalo, they're saying Buffalo is just decimated with injuries on defense. I'm sorry, but Buffalo's offense did not
that's football.
light up Miami. So,
yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm in agreement on the pole position. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins as well.
Yep.
My 3rd team, however, is not the Eagles. It's the Dallas Cowboys. The 3rd team in the power rankings. We're 2-1. We're missing a wide receiver. We're missing an offensive tackle. We're missing a tight end. We're missing a quarterback. Like, we're missing a lot of key individuals, and we're still 2-1. So they're number 3. And the number 2 team, I like your thought of Kansas City. I think Kansas City is a very good team, but they're not as good as this number 2 team. And it's not even close. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Dominating. Look what they did to San Diego.
I'm not arguing. Jacksonville Jaguars are a solid team right now. All they lacked was a coach last year. So
they should have been 3-0, except for Carson Wentz making some ridiculous throws that Carson Wentz can't make.
I still think Trevor Lawrence is like Cole Beasley's little sister.
Do you think so? I'm gonna jump to something from the beginning of this thing when we were rating Dak Prescott, and you didn't know between him and Justin Fields, and you said that he was much better than Trevor.
I was wrong.
You were wrong. You think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields?
Yes.
Justin Fields has completed 23 passes in 3 games.
I know. I appreciate the update.
He got 8 completions though this past week, so that was good for him.
Yep, he was at 15 before. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I had hopes. I really did. All right.
So can we go back to the Cowboys, the America's team here for a minute?
Hold on, I want to ask you because we're on the power rankings still.
Yeah.
If we are. So you think Cowboys go to AFC and they play each of those teams? What's their record? They play all AFC West teams. Sorry, my bad.
They play the AFC West?
AFC West teams. What is their record?
3-1.
Who's the one?
Kansas City.
Okay.
Right now, but when we have Dak,
I hear you. I'm okay with that.
When we have Michael Gallup, it's a different story.
I can even see your argument. I'm not conceding that. I almost want them to be under the radar like the Dolphins are.
What do you think their record would be in the AFC West?
I think you're right. Actually, I mean, I think they can beat the Raiders, they can beat the Chargers, they can beat.
I mean, they only have to score 9 points to beat the Broncos. Come on, man.
I wasn't arguing the Broncos. I'm actually starting to wonder if they might be able to beat Kansas City at this point if we've got Dak in. If we've got Dak in,
The Broncos.
Dak and Gallup, put Dak and Gallup in there, and yeah, you might be right. The Broncos, yeah, and we've proven we can score more than 10 points.
Yes.
So yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
All right, so time to move on to the glory hole.
Wait, can we talk about the offense just a little bit more?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad.
I'll do it quickly. So, how do you feel about Noah Brown?
How do I feel about him?
Yeah.
I mean, I've really liked the kid this year. He's your little baby son, remember?
I think he might be my favorite.
Be his father. I checked.
You're not?
You are. You are.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he could be my favorite Cowboy of all time right now.
He's been
Noah
awesome.
Brown.
And it's funny because we used to not like him.
And I know, but he makes tough catches, man.
Yeah, and he doesn't complain about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, I'm sorry. You can go to your glory hole.
Please don't ever say that again. All right, so glory hole. You want to start, or you want me to?
I'd be happy to start.
Okay, go ahead.
With my couple guys that I have in line for this glory hole award. First is CD Lamb. I mean, I made this prediction at the beginning of the year. He drops at least one big pass every game. How funny was it? Go ahead. How funny was it when Aikman? You weren't watching the Aikman cast. You were watching the Manning cast.
Correct.
But I was watching the Aikman cast at first, and I switched to the Manning cast after this comment. Aikman said, CD Lamb could play the rest of his career, and he's not going to drop a pass like that. In the very next pass, he drops it again. And then it made me so mad that he's laughing and smiling.
Laughing and happy, yeah. It's like Jason Garrett.
Oh, funny me. I'm a funny guy. I was so furious, and I was sitting there hoping like that they had listened to the whole waterboarding scenario that we worked out, where if you waterboard them or kidnap their family or something like that, like it puts the kind of pressure on them. Yeah, and so I think that that's what happened at halftime because he came out and he was a different player.
Yeah,
but he was guaranteed to be in the glory, like guaranteed, no questions asked. He was the glory hole recipient or giver or whatever it is at halftime.
Yeah.
I mean, he just looked awful, and it was almost like he kept trying to catch the passes like with the outside of his hands instead of his hands.
2 catches where he was wide open and running downfield.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure. I mean, the one I could have caught it landed right here. He just wasn't looking. I don't know, but yeah.
And then my next one became that tight end, Hendershot. I don't know if he's a rookie. I don't know where he came from. I don't know if he's a walk-on. I don't know. He's from Iowa.
From Iowa.
So holding penalty, false start, those were terrible. Both of them at big times, both those plays. But the biggest play was when he ran. Well, and then he caught one short, like he did the old Jason Witten, let me catch this 5 yards short of the sticks and try to run with my back to it thing. But then the worst one was at the end of the game when they're trying to run the clock out. He goes out of bounds. What are you talking? Like, I was so
without getting the first even.
No, it was terrible.
I'm laughing now. I was not laughing last night.
No, me either. And so if I had a vote in this award,
you do have a vote in this award, as it turns out.
He would be my vote over CD Lamb. How about you?
So I liked Smith for his penalties that were in there. Mm-hmm. I really liked CD Lamb. I did. I was a big fan. In fact, he's written right here on top of my notes as the recipient. I was pissed. He did not catch a ball. He redeemed himself by making that catch in the end zone, by making the catch before the end zone and powering his way to the 1 yard.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good play.
But we wouldn't even need him to redeem himself. If he caught that ball, this is a totally different game. I mean, the whole game changes, but he didn't. So I was putting him there, but I kind of went soft on that. I wanted to put the refs in there just for the bad calls. But I can't put all of them on there. I couldn't get a picture of the entire squad, so I look at Hendershot and I gotta agree with you. He was he was he was exactly what the glory hole was made for. And there he is. Oh, I don't know if you can see him so well.
Oh yeah, he looks like a buffalo.
Yeah. That's his
Is that a mugshot?
it is actually. It is.
Yeah. He seems like the kind of guy who would have a mugshot, but not for like something cool. His mugshot would be for something like
Breaking into
he
his
was.
girlfriend's apartment and putting her against the wall.
Oh,
Taking
yeah,
her phone. That, yeah.
yeah. I could see that. I could see that. I was thinking more of like driving at 109 miles an hour and
See that, yeah.
at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, though, not at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Or rush hour.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
You are the winner. So let's move on to this coming week, where I predict. I'm not giving a score prediction, but well, let's talk about this coming week because I'm gonna. You're introducing our new stuff. So looking at the new week ahead, we've got the Commanders at home. I hate the name, but here we are, playing the Commanders at home.
Yes.
How great do you think we're going to do? What do you think?
I am going to give a score prediction on this.
We're going to. We do every week.
I think the score will be 31-6. I think the Commanders. Why did neither of us pick them as the worst team in the NFL?
We talked about it. I think you mentioned them.
Big mistake.
I agree 100%.
Big mistake. I mean,
why? Because there's people like Geno Smith running a football team right now. There's
Marcus
Mariota, and they played against each other, and it was a primetime game. It should have been, but yeah, that's why. That's why.
And Jacoby Brissett.
So it's funny because I put Washington. Is it the state of Washington? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say Washington 31-9.
What?
To 9. You had 6.
I think what? Oh, you said Washington 31.
No. I said what? Sorry, no. I did. You're right because I was stuck on the Washington state. No, I've got Dallas 31, Washington 9. Yes, my bad.
Okay.
I apologize to everyone out there for thinking I was picking that. So
yeah,
tell me about our new call.
So seeing stars, like some ridiculous. This is the seeing stars part of it. The seeing stars prediction, and it is just a pretty bold statement that you think is going to happen. Could happen, probably not going to happen, but might happen. And this is seeing stars. And so for my seeing star prediction, I predict the Dallas Cowboys will have more sacks than the Washington Commanders will have points.
Wow.
I wonder if that's ever happened I guess it's happened in shutouts, huh? But yeah, I think the Cowboys will sack Carson Wentz more than the C words will score points.
The C words. I like that actually. Washington C words. Huh. Too bad we don't have Tuesday games. Could be. Yeah. See you next Thursday. Yeah. I'm going. Man, this is terrible because it doesn't go with my score. I just learned about this new thing. It doesn't go with my score at all. So I'm gonna go.
Well, that way you're hedging. You're hedging your bets.
That's true. Yes. All right. So I've got Gibson going for 160 yards.
Wow, I could see that.
Yep. And I'm actually giving him a long rush of 70 yards.
Okay. So they score a touchdown on that one, or does he not get in the end zone?
No, he doesn't get in the end zone. We stop him right beforehand. They kick a field goal.
Okay.
Would have been a touchdown, but it can't be a touchdown because I only gave him 9. Oh, they could. Yeah,
they can score a touchdown.
We're giving him a touchdown. All right.
Very cool.
All right, so mine will be a touchdown by Washington, missed extra point. They'll go for 2, just because at that point it'll make sense, and a field goal.
All right. Sounds good.
So, what else have we got? Anything? I mean, what do you think? I don't. Sacks, I think, are inevitable. I think long running is inevitable. You think Cowboys are going to throw more or run more?
In this next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear they're going to run more.
Yeah.
How many yards?
I don't know.
How many yards for Pollard?
70.
I bet you breaks 100. I bet you both him and Zeke break 100.
That would be amazing.
That should be my deal right there.
Yeah.
One break 100 and combine for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's Sing Stars for sure.
All right, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm changing my outlook.
Okay.
But I still think Gibson's going to have his best game of the season this weekend.
If he runs up the middle, you're exactly right. Yeah.
All right.
We should call the Cowboys defense the Boston Cream because they're running in the middle.
Soft in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we got for today, this week. Join us next week. If you like what you see, click like, subscribe, all that stuff. Jonathan, you got anything to close with or nothing? All right.
Super Bowl bound.
Super Bowl bound Dallas Cowboys. Thank you all for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.